You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Reverend Malak. Tatooine is known for little but blowing sand. I find it surprising that there would be a star map somewhere in its desolate wastes. Perhaps, though that would have been tens of thousands of years in the past. Now there's nothing but the howling emptiness of the Dune Sea. The star map would likely have to be within some kind of shelter to protect it against dust and sandstorms. I suspect there are many such caves and caverns hidden in the sands of the Dune Sea. The creatures of this world probably use them as their lairs. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location. How can I help? You've been patient with me, haven't you? I suppose you deserve an answer, but you have to understand how difficult this is for me to say. With all my training, I should be able to control myself better than this. But you're not like anything I expected. You're not like any man I've ever met before. I find myself watching you when I don't mean to. I'm thinking about you when I don't want to. It isn't supposed to be like this. Every time I try to call on all my teachings to calm myself, they fail me. You have such power, such passion. I don't know if it's due to the bond between us, but I'm drawn to you. The Force is a part of you, as is your power. But that's not what attracted me to you. It's more than that. Maybe it's the bond we share. It gives us a certain intimacy. If I could, I would return to Tatooine. I need to be away from this bond of ours. I need to weaken it. I need to be anywhere but near you. But Malak must be stopped. My own feelings are nothing when compared to that. Yet I know this could affect the sake of our mission if it's not resolved. I can't let that happen. I think we should have some privacy for this. Come with me. You're stronger than I am, and there's no point in telling me otherwise. You will be a great Jedi, I think. I hope. In some ways you make me feel weak, like I'm caught up in the wake of our destiny. But at the same time, you make me feel stronger, more alive. I realize now these feelings are part of the bond we share. The Jedi Council surely realized this. They knew my loyalty to the doctrines of our order would be tested on this mission. By facing and overcoming my feelings for you, I've learned a valuable lesson about control and the dangers of emotion. This is an important step in understanding the Force. I'm sorry if this is not what you wanted to hear, but I felt that it was important you know our infatuation was nothing more than a result of our powerful bond. You're the one who can't face the truth. Malak has to be stopped. How can I do that if I let myself be blinded by my feelings for you? You mean it, don't you? But how can I be sure you're not making a mistake? I have to resist. I have to be strong for both of us. But I can't. Malak will... Okay, you've made your point. Now shut up and kiss me, you fool. We shouldn't have done that. It was wrong. The Jedi are not allowed to fall in love. It was a moment of weakness. When I kissed you, we shouldn't have. I'm sorry. No, I know we both wanted it, but we shouldn't have given in to our desire. We're Jedi. We can't act like this. Not now. Not while we still have to deal with Malak. I'm sorry. I don't blame you, but it was a mistake. I have to get out of here before somebody sees us together.
How can I help?
We've already been over this. It was a moment of weakness, a stumble brought on by unbridled passions. But my emotions are firmly in check once more. We need to stay focused on stopping Darth Malak, and I want the others to stay focused as well. I don't want them to get suspicious and start gossiping about our little encounter. So until our mission is over, we need to act with discretion. We shouldn't speak of this anymore. Not until Malak is defeated.
How can I help?
Then I suggest...
Yes, what's on your mind?
Tatooine's just a desert planet. I hear the mining isn't going so well. I bet the colony gets abandoned before long.
Well, that's all I can think of at any rate.
You got it.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? Well, I mentioned before that my parents had fled to Taris. Perhaps I can tell you about that. In the early days of the Mandalorian War, there had been fighting closer to the Outer Rim worlds. KOTOR was there, yes. My people had a great reputation as warriors, and that appealed to the Mandalore version of honor. They sought to test themselves against us, I think. Test themselves by bombing our world, slaughtering my people while they slept or while they ran. They swooped down from space across the world, firing at anything that moved. They used ships in space to destroy all orbital facilities and bombard the surface. We did resist, and in spite of their violent attack, we did stave them off for quite a while. But in the end, we were doomed. We were not members of the Republic. KOTOR was beyond the edge of the Republic, in the Outer Rim. And besides, they could not have known. Our interstellar communications were the first things the Mandalores hit. All other short-range communicators were jammed. We were on our own. We knew what was coming. We had fought the Mandalorians in the first war against Exar Kun and the Sith. We knew there would be no mercy for us. The most we could do was pack the few of our people who survived onto what few ships remained and send them off into space as fast as they could. Most did not make it. My parents carried me as a baby with them and were lucky enough to escape. They fled as far as they were able and eventually settled on Taris. They could stand running no further, I think. But Taris was a horrible choice. Dominated by humans, intolerant of other species, it made everyday life unnecessarily hard. My father turned to stimulants. He spent much of his time in local bars and dives. But we are warriors. It runs through our blood. And when he was on stims, he became foolish. He let his warrior nature get the best of him. So he would get intoxicated, and he would fight. And finally, one day, he would die. Killed by a man who provoked him into a fight and killed him like an animal. I am sorry. I cannot talk about this any longer right now. How may I be... What is... After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Taris. It was not easy for her. When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day. She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Taris. They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credits for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians. The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream. I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Tatooine, and we both know what has happened since then. I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you. But for now, let us keep on the task at hand. How may I be... What?
Yeah, what do you want? Tatooine is one big desert, with rocks sticking out. I heard that some of my people came here after the war, but I don't know what happened to them. The world of my clan, Ordo, was much like this. Dust basins and rock crags. But my world at least has some green around the equator. This place is just sand all over. There are some vicious people on this world, but the desert is the real enemy. Trips out in the desert, especially the deep desert, should be taken very carefully. You have anything else you want to ask? Hey, don't... A real warrior... The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it. There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now. Yeah, I came to Terrace. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Terrace and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Terrace could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting. Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, we should get on with our lives. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice.
Hey there. What? Don't tell me you believe Lena's lies. Griff might be working as a miner on Tatooine, but the rest of her story is Bantha Poodoo. You can't trust someone like her. At least Griff's free of her clutches. I'd like to go speak to the Zerka Corp rep on Tatooine if we have time. Maybe I can arrange to see my brother again. I just hope he's not in any kind of trouble when we do. Hey there. I've been... No, of course not. Not really. But what if it was his idea to leave me behind? I'm not saying Griff would just abandon me, but maybe he did want to leave me behind. Just temporarily, you know? He might have done that if he planned on coming back later, but things don't usually work out for Griff the way he planned, you know? And that's when he'd get in trouble. He was always borrowing money he could never pay back. He might have been trying to skip out on his debts when he left Harris. He would have to leave his little sister behind so it would look like he was coming back. Yeah, well, no, not exactly. Look, all I'm trying to say is that the more I think back, the more I realize I might be idolizing my brother a bit, not seeing all his faults. I still want to find him. I need to see him again. It's just that I'm not sure how I'll react when I do. Maybe. We'll see. I don't want to judge him yet. Maybe Lena was lying. Or maybe she wasn't. All I know is I'd like to speak to Griff myself. If we have time, I'd like to go talk to the Zerka Corp rep on Tatooine and see what he has to say about where my brother is now. Hey there. All I know is I'd like to speak... Hey there. I always heard Tatooine was nothing but a rock covered by a bunch of worthless sand. I can't even figure out why Zerka Corp set up their mining operations here. Sorry I can't be more help, you know? Is there anything else I can do for you? Hey there. Sorry.
Welcome to Anchorhead, potential customer. Zerka Corporation stands ready to serve, after some formalities, of course. First, your ship is not on our list of planned arrivals for today. There is a docking fee of 100 credits because of this. That would be unfortunate. Zerka Corporation can't afford to extend credit. Everyone pays. That's the rule. The immediate benefit is access to these very docking facilities. This is the only port in Anchorhead. Once you've paid, we will offer trade services as well. We're not unreasonable, we just want to cover expenses. Zerka Corporation maintains this docking station at great expense. It is within our rights to refuse landing permission. And I warn you, we've had troublemakers before. The bay is lined with autoguns. Violence is not a survivable option. I assure you that the fee is non-negotiable. We have a very thin margin of profit on this world. You know, I don't think you need to pay the fee. We'll let it go this time. This will cover any future landings as well. It's like a registration, so we can serve you better when you return. Now, as a customs officer, I can provide information on services. Is this visit business or pleasure? There isn't much to tell. It's a very old planet, well past its prime. Zerka Corporation is the only company with any interest in it. It's not a very pretty world, but there is opportunity here if you know where to look. I can't really get into that. It hasn't been a very smooth operation. I shouldn't get into it. I can tell you more, I guess. It's not a big secret or anything. Just not good for business. You see, Zerka Corporation staked their claim to this planet based on some very promising geological surveys. Unfortunately, that information was incorrect, and possibly even an attempt at sabotage by a rival company. Not totally barren. There were a few good years of mining, and limited operations are still in place. But the ore is flawed. It has peculiar properties. They've had to look at other forms of business. Zerka Corporation has really tried to hide this, but it just seems that Tatooine metal is unfit for effective manufacturing. I would imagine that this outpost will eventually be abandoned. Nobody is making any money here. Of course, this rock may have been settled a few times, so look for some other company to get stuck with it. Pursuits that appeal to the casual traveler. There are some fearsome native species that provide exciting hunting. There are also lengthy, barren wastes that serve as fine swoop tracks. Attracting business has been slow, however. Very little. There are hints that it might once have been a lush world, but I can't picture it as anything but a desert. Native sentient species have no records going back that far. That was hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands. Of course, the native species are not very willing to tell anyone anything. They're barely more than animals. The Sand People. They're vicious and attack outsiders on sight. More animal than anything, really. Maybe they know the history of Tatooine. Maybe they don't. Impossible to tell. They won't cooperate. Not personally, but they've given Zerka Corporation a rough time. It's hard enough mining this rock without suffering random attacks. I think the company has even put a bounty on them, but I'm sure not going to try for it. It depends on what level of risk you want to take. You could ask at the Zerka office if any bounties need collecting. That's in Central Anchorhead. While you're at the office, ask for a hunting license so you can sell trophies to Faza in his lodge, just north of them. I suppose you could also take up swoop racing. Talk to the hut at the registration office by the track. That's in West Anchorhead. I can't say I know which of these jobs is the most dangerous. I stay away from all of them. There isn't. It depends on while you. That's not much information. Could you tell me more? A star map? That's old holotech, isn't it? Not much reason to outfit this dry rock with tech like that. You could ask around, but for something like that, you'll probably have to go digging. I wouldn't know where to begin. You could always ask a Jawa. It's hard to tell what they know. It depends. Well, You a digger? I've heard of ruins being found now and then, but they've always been stripped by sand people soon after. You're not going to get anywhere with them. I guess you could ask around, but I doubt you'll learn anything different. You could always ask a Jawa. As you wish. If you need anything else, I'll be here.
What can I do?
Yes?
Sure.
What can I do?
Yes?
I'm here.
Yes?
I'm here.
Sure.
We'll watch your ship like any other. The bay is safe.
Genchopa chawi tikjok twis yun kun. Watuyama kama wona henak nek. Bugra shak kunti chiwa chawa. Dong abuk shami no nok.
I'm Bastila, yes. I take it that you know my mother?
Bona na kachu. Kicha badwang. Wanga kum kiba bu mulera. Kakin chak nawagawa bakon. Donk kiba nukunek. Tong abuk sha nagnong.
Is there something I can do for you, miss? As you can see, we're in quite a hurry.
Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Wanakumbes. Chi pala mulek. Tong ki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest. Uf mala nibokurk.
My mother's condition?
Ti un pa do punta krita. Ak ti konto una chaba chisa wanki. Ti toki grantu kon ti chan kun green kanchan tu pro. Bok wala no bok cha. Nichi kon chuva kin lorta ikakun.
I've not seen my mother since I joined the Order. Do you know what's happened? Did she say anything about my father?
Genchopa chawi tikjok twis yun kun. Watuyama kama wona henak nek. Bugra.
I see. Where did you meet her? Do you remember?
Chachika don mulaka. Watayuma kau.
Part of me would rather not see her at all. But if she is really sick, well, we shall see.
Zerka Corporation keeps me...
Uchua penki, tang itwamaji, human ak ikatune, chi itakanki, chana kilikon, baba Hassan shan. No ba muli rati lai kuka. Ki muli ra kun king. Achua penki, yun patisa. Baba Hassan shan. No ba muli rati lai kuka. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi unko tune. Chiwa aita kan kicha na chupornibo. Kun Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi unko tune. Chuna muli ra. Chiwa aita kan kicha na chupornibo. Kun muli ra. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Baba Hassan shan. No ba muli rati lai kuka. Baba chi ki muli. Chiwa aita kan kicha na chupornibo. Baba Hassan shan. No ba muli. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi unko tune chuna muli. Ki muli. Chiwa aita kan kicha na chupornibo. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi unko tune chuna muli. Ki Smilia!
I heard about your Manan win. I'm surprised the Tatooine track was able to attract a racer of your ability. Did you win a regional swoop championship on Manan or something? I recognize your face.
Please, will you help me? I have nothing left. Oh, thank you. I don't have anywhere else to turn. If you're down and out on Tatooine, you're on your own. My husband was a hunter, killed out on the dunes. This raid plate is all I have left. Please, will you buy it? I don't need a handout. I just can't sell it to Faza without a license. Please, I'm worried about having it. They're so rare. It's the bone plate from the head of the desert raid. My husband was so proud when he found it. He had just started hunting. He said he felt sure the next hunt would bring in more, so we waited to sell this one. Then he never came back. Will you buy it? I can't sell it myself. They're worth more than 500 credits. You will? Oh, thank you so much. Please, I know it's worth at least 500 credits. $700 credits. Oh, thank you. It is more than generous of you. I don't know what to say. I just don't.
Thank you for helping this woman. It may not seem like such a great thing to you, but you are making a difference.
For whatever it means, may the Force be with you. You saved us.
I'm sure I saw some holo footage of you on the Manan swoop track. What you doing here?
Her mother was supposed to be here somewhere. Ask if they've seen her. We should try to find her. I doubt she wants to be kept waiting.
The Republic is too complacent. If they let Terrace fall, do you think they care what happens out here?
mucho shakbakat. Kieno no dama paule rachi. Takom justach miki grabar mogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bungsha. Tolpa da pongwale kanduna guguchuchut. Kabadum. Jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bungsha nunu. Kachikun ida hodonga. Ikinkuno bamulera chikun. Takom justach miki grabar mogo. Kachi it. Jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bungsha nununya. Mucho shakbakat. Kieno no dama paule rachikun. Jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bungsha nununya. Hakupa chekupa. Chino mulera king paija. Jeda batol jeda. Jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bungsha nununya. Takom justach miki grabar mogo. Mucho shakbakat. Kieno no dama paule rachikun. Jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bungsha nununya. Mucho shakbakat. Kieno no dama paule rachikun. Jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bu. Takom justach miki grabar mogo. Kachi jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bungsha. Mucho shakbakat. Kieno no dama paule rachikun. Takom justach miki grabar mogo. Kachi jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bungsha. Mucho shakbakat. Kieno no dama paule rachikun. Takom justach miki grabar mogo. Jeda baduana ni dibobo. Dong na bungsha nunu. Mucho shakbakat. Kieno no dama paule rachikun. Takom justach miki grabar mogo. Kachi. Tak. Jeda baduana.
Get lost, Tenderfoot. I hunt Desert Raid. I don't babysit. Well, you sure know how to get on my good side. You're just trotting out banthopats, but thanks all the same. My name is Doric Quinn. I'm a hunter. I hunt. Is that enough, or should I start listing my family birthdays? If I knew the best place, why would I tell anyone? It would be worth too much to me to let it get out. It doesn't matter anyway. This season has been dry for me, as it has for almost everyone. Perhaps someone else is holding out, but there's simply fewer raid out there. It used to be a one-on-one test. Hunter against hunted. Now people just want the credits. I could stomach maybe a pair or a team of hunters. But some now use battle droids. Where's the sport in that? That's not for me to say. I won't be a troublemaker in so small a community. You'll see. Hunt, and you will see. I've tracked wild beasts my whole life, but I've only been hunting here for 5 years. I've much to learn yet. There are hunters that go after the big kills, the crate dragons. I don't know how they do it. I never even see the things. Comad is the one I respect, but I also trust that the only difference between us is experience. I will learn. I don't go telling stories about other people. You want to know what they think? You go talk to them. One word, though. Watch yourself around the Gamorreans. Gurk and his buddies aren't to be trusted. Everyone else I respect because they have skill. Those guys, they go for easier prey. Just watch your back when you hunt. The dragons aren't the only dangers out there. If that's what... You'll have to ask around. Comad Fortuna is a much more experienced hunter than I am. He hunts far from Anchorhead. The local Jawas are a good source of information, even if it is hard to understand them. It may cost you, though. Again? Well, if you want to waste your day, that's your business, I guess. If that's what you... Good hunting.
What can I do for you? Did my wife send you? This ain't about credits, is it? Oh, of course. Who put you up to this, my wife? I meant what I said about having no credits. Hunting is a dirty and tough business. What can old Tanis tell you about it? There isn't any. Too many hunters, not enough prey. I can barely keep expenses covered. Maintenance on battle droids is expensive. Of course, it's better than going alone. What if I stumbled on a bunch of sand people? These solo hunters are crazy. What do I care? I need to eat. I also need to pay for parts so the wife can keep the droids running. It's all about the credits. Some guys will talk about honor and stuff, but they still sell their plates to Faza. I guess honor needs creds too. I suppose, but so what? When that resource goes belly up, I'll just move on. I'm just a wandering spirit, I guess. I'm not real popular with the others, but they just fool themselves. They're in it for the credits too. Too long, but it beats smuggling. You ever run into a Sith dreadnought in the desert? No, you haven't. Hell, I married her. No, seriously now. I had this friend that crossed Sith space and got stripped of everything. It's not like I have much now, I guess, but I still prefer sand people to getting ambushed on unproven trade routes. Ah, she doesn't understand me. You know the drill. It's not my fault. She knew who I was when she married me. There isn't any. Too many, of course. Uptight and cold, like my wife. They don't like me streamlining the hunt with droids. I don't fit in, but I don't let it bug me. You know how it is. You don't take any backtalk either. I heard about you and Girk. I should have you deal with my wife. Dorak is reasonable. Komad is a pain, but he keeps his distance. I can tell he doesn't like me much. Ask around the lodge if you want information about the other guys. I don't really talk to him much. Fine. Who knows the planet? I don't know. I guess the sand people. I'm usually running when I see them, though. Sure. My blood. They almost got me last year. Tore up 2 of my battle droids. Wife was mad about that. Took her weeks to fix. Where they got weapons to cut battle armor, I don't know. They act like animals, but they can surprise you. I don't know. Pick a dune and walk. They'll get you soon enough. Smart traders. They've salvaged and sold me my own damaged droids once or twice. They don't say much I can understand. I think they're a little slow, but who am I to judge, huh? Sure. Wait. Again? Fine. Good.
Ciao baso, Gino Morirani Dubo, Tokin ba, Noku Netsag. Chiwi Aita ka Chong Chicha, Chiwak Aita kang Kicha na Jupornibo. Chiwi Aita ka Chong Chicha, Agi Inko Tune Chun. Chiwak Aita kang Kicha na Jupornibo. Baba. Chiwi Aita ka Chong Chicha. Agi Inko Tune. Chiwak Aita kang Kicha na Jupornibo. Chiwi Aita ka Chong Chicha. Chiwak Aita kang Kicha na Jupornibo. Chi muli ra. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko ka kinja na. Chiwaka aita ka kicha na jupornibo. Kun chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Baba.
Something you want? I don't have a lot of time for talk, so please, make it quick. All right, but I'm not sure what I could say to interest you. I just work on the crawlers. I repair the sand crawlers when they return from the mines. They get pretty banged up, even without the attacks. The sand people attack them pretty regularly. Zerka Corporation is getting pretty sick of it, I hear. They've offered bounties on sand people for a while now, but few hunters take them up on it. Too dangerous. Try at the Zerka offices right here. They'd know. Oh, the big crawlers head out at dawn. That's so they avoid the bigger predators. The raid, I mean, doesn't help avoid the sand people, though. They attack pretty regular, no matter what Zerka Corporation tries. Well, it's a hole in the galaxy as far as I'm concerned. I doubt this outpost will last much longer. But that's happened before and will happen again. Anchorhead has been resettled a few times now. Well, Tatooine fools people. It looks like it might have a good supply of resources, but it doesn't. Before a company learns this, they've already set up communities to support operations they now can't afford. Company pulls out, cities dry up, and after a few years, someone that doesn't know why it failed tries again. No one is. I guess it looked like a promising mining planet, but the metal, I tell you, it just isn't right. I've been a mechanic my whole life, and I've never seen anything corrode as fast as Tatooine metal. It's why whoever was here before left, and why Zerka will leave, and why whoever comes next will leave. All right then, back to work, I guess.
Labodani Winkismak Toma. Wanakun bes jingpa marulira, tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes, uba patu kochi. Tong nong bong shang yung yang, tong patok smakdelia. Kuyabi jus kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun, slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi, la boda ni winki smaktoma. Wanakun bes jingpa marulira, tok jingbang non kek. Tuk ninja mira rabes.
Can I help you? These are the offices of the Zerka Corporation. I trust you have business with the company? If this is about employment, I'm afraid all regular mining positions are full. And before you ask, we are also no longer selling hunting licenses. Griff? There's no Griff here. Never heard of him. No, I don't remember a single Griff on the Zerka Corporation payroll. Oh, you mean that Twi'lek? Must have slipped my mind for a second. Yes, of course I remember Griff. We hired that Twi'lek some time ago. Not a good worker, according to his crew chief. Always complaining and faking injuries to get out of work. He entered false timesheets and slept through his shifts. We even suspected him of stealing Zerka Corporation supplies, although we could never prove it. We would have fired him, but we needed workers. It would have been better for him if he had been fired. Then the Sand People wouldn't have gotten him. He was lost in a Sand People raid we suffered not too long ago. There were prisoners taken, but our rescue parties never found anyone alive. In the end, it just wasn't cost-effective to keep searching. All miners sign a waiver absolving Zerka Corporation of liability in these circumstances. Zerka Corporation cares deeply for all of its employees. That's why we've started a bounty program to thin the Sand People numbers. We didn't find his body, so we have to assume he was taken prisoner. Whether he's still alive, I couldn't say. That's all I can tell you. I shouldn't even have said this much. This is all privileged corporate information. I could lose my job. As I said, all employees have signed waivers absolving Zerka Corporation of any financial liability if this occurs. It is the industry standard. I suppose you could apply for special dispensation from the Zerka Corporation representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours only, please. Very well, though I do have work to get back to. As I said, we are no longer selling them. There are too many people cavorting about outside the walls as it is. We use them to ensure that only people judged fit by Zerka Corporation are allowed outside the city. We don't allow casual exploration because of legal concerns. Zerka Corporation takes no responsibility for loss of life on the dunes. It's just so we can keep track of people. No one leaves the city without a Zerka hunting license. Well, normally we charge 200 credits, but I could make an exception if you agreed to perform a task for us. It's similar to hunting. The Sand People are becoming a problem. They destroy our sandcrawlers and kill our miners. One particular tribe is the worst. It's as if their chieftain has decided to wage war against us. I would like their attacks terminated. Bring me their gaffy sticks as proof. If you agree to do this, I'll give you a hunting license now and pay a bounty for each stick later. I'll give a bonus for the chieftains. Which would you rather have dumped on your office floor? Besides, they're ceremonial weapons, unique to each warrior. It's just as good. We use them to ensure we don't. It's. The Sand People are becoming. It's as if you. Excellent. Now, just so we understand each other, this is an enforceable contract. Zerka Corporation takes this very seriously. Here's your license, and a few directions. We believe one of their enclaves is in the far south of the Dune Sea. You might try following one of our sandcrawlers. They're regularly attacked. I wouldn't mind you escorting them. Very well, though I... Of course. Zerka Corporation records are available at our representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours, please. For your needs here, we maintain a fully stocked storehouse. Speak with Greta Holda about any purchases. I'm sorry, but day-to-day operations of Zerka Corporation outposts are fully regionalized. I have no information on Kashyyyk. I'm sorry. I'll have to direct you to our representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours only, please. Certainly. Please pose your questions to the representative kiosk on Coruscant. Business hours, please. I suppose you're right. It's not like you can't tell the state of things just by looking around. Mining operations here have not been a success. The ore is substandard, and there's less of it than surveys indicated. With the Sand People raids on top of it all, it's no wonder this planet has been abandoned before. No one knows. There are odd energy fluctuations on this planet, but they defy analysis or explanation. But the effect is obvious. Ore taken from Tatooine is useless for construction. It degrades incredibly fast. Word is getting out about it, too. We're running out of buyers. Zerka Corporation is not doing well here. The company would be foolish to stay. It will be costly, but in the end, leaving will be cheaper than staying. I imagine all the heavy equipment will be abandoned. It's not worth shipping out things like sandcrawlers. Maybe the Jawas will find a use for them when we're gone. That's a laugh. We can't ignore evidence that Anchorhead was settled more than once before, and abandoned each time. There's probably a century between each attempt, just long enough for records about why it failed to disappear. The Jawas scavenge ancient tech all the time. It's a remote world. Who knows what's here? Very well. I assume that by out of the ordinary, you're referring to the destruction of Terrace? That is all anyone is talking about. I'm afraid Zerka Corporation is not offering any comment on those events. We wouldn't wish to anger the participants. If you're looking for local events, I suggest you go to the Swoop track, one of the few leisure industries on Tatooine. There was also a Jawa here earlier, saying something about needing help. I think he's out by the city gates. I can't be more specific about what he wanted. Our droid translators had difficulty with the message. Very well, though I do... I'm a... Zerka Corporation policy is not subject to your approval. It is a sound business model. Save us your commentary. If you're looking... I'm...
Chua Pengti, Yun Patisa, Di Juba Jikota Naga, Kakincha Nawabakaon, Chiwi Aita Kachong Chiwa Aita Kang Kicha na Juporni Baba Hassan Shan, Nova Muri. Chiwa Aita Kang Kicha na Jupornibo Kaki Chiwi Aita Kachong Chicha Agi Inko Tune Chulamuri Ra Tangi Wama Jikona Tonki Pa Nonku Nek Abog Chiwa Aita Kang Kicha na Jupornibo Kun Muri Ras Nimo Poiwanga Tangi Twamaji Chiwi Aita Kachong Chicha Agi Inko Baba Hassan Shan Noba Muri Raji Lai Kunka Kakincha Nawabakaon Bagwa Shan Kontimachit Chiwa Aita Kang Kicha na Jupornibo Kun Muri Rap Kakin Chiwi Aita Kachong Chicha Agi Inko
Naboda ni Winkis Matoma, Wanakun Bes Jingpa Marulira, Tok Jingbang Non Kek, Tok Ninja Mira Rabes. Kuyabi Juskuna Jitanai, Yina Kun Marulira Rachikun, Slimo Padona, Mundi Hadonda Chipokabi, Naboda ni Winkis Matoma, Wanakun Bes Jingpa Marulira, Tok Jingbang Non Kek, Tok Ninja Mira Rabes. Kuyabi Juskuna Jitanai, Yina Kun Marulira Rachikun, Slimo Padona. Mundi Hadonda Chipokabi. Jawana Bota Ayuat Tahunga Chakanki Dora, Kachikuita Hodonga, Topada bungwalia gando do nano chuchu. Musha papampa, Mola wana chitne. Mamuli slemo poda wanga kumes mulira rabes. Kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo papona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi. La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kumbes chingpama rulira. Tok chingbang non ket. Tok ninja mulira rabes. Kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira. La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpa marulira. Kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpa marulira. Tok kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo padona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi. La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpa marulira. Tok chingbang non ket. Tok ninja mulira rabes. Kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo padona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi. La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes chingpa marulira. Tok chingbang non ket. Tok ninja mulira rabes. Kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo padona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi. Kuyami juskuna chitanai. La boda. Kuyami juskuna chitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. La boda ni winkis matoma. Wana kun bes ching.
Mata swears he can get professional racers to come to Tatooine. If the Manan sector champion is here, I guess he was right.
We tam borakatong mulira siyang turong ni tapota wangachun tise. Ikruto haga jijiwa watachuma.
I don't know who founded Anchorhead the first time, but I know why they left.
Mucho shakpakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun.
Ivan Beku, Papuilta. Dufedan Elva, Horisidan Elva. Papuil. Dufedan Elva, Horisidan Elva. Papuilta.
Tangabun shan omnang. Wanga kun bis kin ba mula rag. China pala mula. Tong. Mucho shakapaka. Yi ki kun no ba mula drag. Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Wana kumbes. Tanga bok sha nak nong. Kin kun shin. Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Wan mucho shakapaka. Yi ki kun no. Tanga bok sha nak nong. Kin kun shin kin. China pala mula. Tong ki ba non tontek. Tanga bok sha nak nong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Chuni yun ni Gigi Alduana. Kava volpa muli kumana. Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Wana kumbes. Chi pala mulek. Tong ki. Mucho shakapaka. Yi ki kun no. Tanga bok sha kak. Tanga bok sha nak nong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Chuni yun ni Gigi Alduana. Kava volpa muli kumana. Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Wana kumbes. Chi pala mulek. Mucho shakapaka. Yi ki kun no ba mula draki chichon. China pala mule. Tong ki ba non tontek. Tun ni chachon kun ne mule rapast. Mucho shakapaka. Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Tanga bok sha nak no. China pala mu.
The track here isn't the greatest, but we have to practice someplace.
Nico's the big favorite around here.
Kakincha nawabakaon. Pichage bora. Kakincha nawabakaon. Baba Hassan Shan. No ba muri rati. Smilya! Tingkuin ko ka. Patoga yakfuli ko ka. Nikawa dupaka. Patisa. Kon muli slimo po iwanga kun riskin. Chi itak tong hitwama ak inko tune. Potong hitwama ji ak chachiska. Topa na otobo kasa. Jiska dosoki, kopa bono nakachu, la bola na winki smack toma, kuyami jusku chitanai, kuchua penki, topa na otobo kasa, yubabato kanchi, yatuka ulan, kakincha na wabakaon, bagwa sha. Tong hitwama aki inko tune, potong hitwama ji aki inko tune. Patoga yakuli ko kala Gigi. Tingkuin ko ka. Tong hitwana ji. Kimba no konik dota. Kava! Yun patisa. Chiwa aita kang. Uchua penki. Tong hitwama ji. Human act in kikatun. Kakincha nawabakaon. Bagwa siyang kontin. Ciao ba? Achua penki. Yun pati sa Baba Hassan Shan. Ciao baso.
Go on, leave me alone. I've got stuff to worry about. Racer stuff. Nothing you'd understand. Don't mean to be rude, but it's kind of secret. Ha! Sure. Race your bike out of that explosion? Everyone knows that the whole planet is gone. Nobody got out. I'm not in the mood for jokes, thanks. I've got things to think about. You wouldn't know anything about it. Deal with that Hut Mata and you will understand. Until then, I just don't want to talk about it. Go on, leave me alone. Race. I don't feel like answering. I wouldn't be much help to you anyway. I just race. Don't know about anything else. Deal with that Hut Mata and you will understand. Until then, I just don't want to talk about it.
Ako Chikopa, Chino mo lalaking. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Wana kumbes, chingpalamul, kunhung kabi. Tuknen tonga buk siya umnenong. Lagola na rinkis maktona.
My friend tells the truth. I am a Jedi. Are you going to imply that I am lying as well?
Tonga buk siya umnenong. Kavavol pamulsi. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Sibedwa na ni Bobo. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Yinkin slimopot. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Yinkin slimopodo na mulera. Kipechao na kinikosenli.
And? Sounds like you have something special. What do you want help with?
Lagola na rinkis maktona. Yinkin slimopodo. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Wana lagola na rinkis maktona. Yinkin rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Yinkin slimopodo na. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Yinkin slimopodo na mulera. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Wana kumbes, chingpalamul, kunhung kabi. Tuknen tangjo, kunne mulerabes. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Yinkin rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Rundi hautong gatong kimbat ng kongkek. Lagola na rinkis maktona. Rundi hautongatong kimbanang. Labula na winkis matoma. Wanga chona tisoras bafkaze. Ikatu. Jibedwan. Labula na winkis matoma. In rundi hautongatong kimbanang kongkek. Wanak. Jib. Labula na winkis matoma. Rundi hautongatong kimbanang kong. Labula na winkis matoma. Imnoba mule. Rundi hautongatong kimbanang kongkek. Wanaku labula na winkis matoma. Inkin slimok chupaka chonagarn totril titoki. Labula na winkis matoma. Rundi hautonga.
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Chiwa aita kang kicha na chupornibo. Baba Hassan. Chiwi aita kaki. Chiwi. Kaki. Chiwi aita. Baba.
Oh, hi. You another racer then? I heard someone new was talking to Mata. Always room for more, I guess. Don't know how much longer I'll be around here, but maybe we'll have time for a few races. Did you? I'm not sure that's any of your business. Top racers keep to their own. I don't know you. Maybe if you were better on the track, I might feel like talking about it. Just a few years. I used to run down in the canyons, but nobody sees you down there. I wanted crowds. I've been told I am. I might go pro. I'm looking at some contracts, but that's between me and Mata. If there's anything around, it'll be at the Zerka store in their office in the center of town. Stock is scarce on this rock. Mata has some basic incentives for good the pro circuit. All right.
Rundi hautonga. Labula nawe. Rundi hautonga tonki. Rundi hautaju. Labula na. tong kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamuri kunung kabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes. Yokoya wish humani bajo ni bes. Rundi hau. Lagoda na ring. Lagoda. Rundi hau to lago. Run lagoda motadahat. Rundi i. Rundi hau tonga tong kimbap. Lab mot. Tonga tong kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamu jibedwa na ni bobo. Lagoda na rinkis matona. Jibe. Lagoda na rinkis run. Lagoda rundi hau tonga tong kim. Lagoda na rinkis matona.
I have to say, you are looking very impressive to me right now. I hope you stick around.
Wow, now that you've proven how good you are, stay away from Mata. Just ask around, you'll see why.
China pala mule, tongki ba no. Hakuji kapat? Tanga boksha kaki mucho shakapat. Mucho China.
Dufedan elfa. Horicidan elfa. Papuelta. Kolo. Undastar ship. Dufedan elfa.
Ichuta, yun patisa. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Tong hitwama ak. Kimba no konik ka kincha nawabagaon. Bagwash. Tong hitwama. Chow. Chow baso.
You again? I don't really feel like talking right now. I suppose you've got a right to know track business, but with the times you've been posting... You did? I don't believe it. I mean, I do, but I sure wasn't expecting it. I appreciate it, I really do. Now I can take my bike to the big races. There's not much of a circuit right now, but I'll be ready when it recovers. Hard to tell. I'll get some more runs here first. I need the practice. I have to top your time. Thanks again. I meant it. Well, I have to thank you, you know. I don't know how you did it. I really don't.
aita ka chong chicha. Chiwa aita chiwi aita. Chiwi Chiwa aita kan kicha na jupornibo. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi iko tune chunamuri ra. Kakincha nawa Baba Hassan. Kakincha nawa Chiwi aita ka chong chi. Baba.
Muchachak pakat. Kieno no namapaole rachikun. Ronda di hotonga kun honkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tonking ba nunotek. Togning chatukune mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulerachikun. Svimo podonar de hodonga ku honkabe. Tolpa da ponquale candona guguchuchut. Kapta kom justach miki grabalmogo.
Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had escaped Taris alive. He has promised a great reward to whoever destroys you.
You cannot win. So be it.
I'm here.
What?
I saw a crate dragon once. Well, not up close. Pretty sure that's what it was. Nothing smells worse than a herd of wild banthas. Nothing!
Maybe the Sith will give us more support here on Tatooine. Couldn't get worse.
Something you want, Spacer? Go talk to the office if you want to complain about conditions here. I don't want to hear it, you swoop racers. Do you even know what it takes to run an outpost like this? As long as there's flat ground, what do you care? I don't really have any interest in helping you. Will this be quick? Like I said before, I don't much care what you think. I'll be on the street if business keeps dropping, and it will. All right then, make it quick. Nobody we've brought, that's for sure. Our expert said this rock was supposed to have mining potential to last for years. Nothing but garbage ore, good for nothing. You ever try to sell someone garbage? My name's Mud in 3 systems now. Like I said before... Oh, well, I wouldn't want that now, would I? Just leave me alone. Just hot air blowing, eh? Well, take it somewhere else. Go on, leave me alone. Get lost, Spacer.
Well now, what can Gandalf do for you? It's been a while since I've had anyone bother talking to me. I saw you down near the track, didn't I? Or was that someone else? I've been distracted by what happened on Taris. Sure, not a problem. Might as well try to pass along some of what I know. My racing days are pretty much done. Ah, something I know. Well, something I used to know. My racing days are behind me. Gandalf is the name. Best place to race is wherever the track treats you sweet and your times are golden. It's that simple. You get hung up on any one track and he'll end up like me. My favorite stop was Taris. Taris. Yeah. Always look forward to going back. Now, I don't want to touch my bike at all. Maybe I wasn't in the winner's circle lately, but I still race for sport, you know? A woman. I never won on Taris, but it was always my first stop on the circuit, and the last if I could help it. That doesn't matter now. You can't ask for more certain closure than the whole planet being gone. Poof, boom, gone. Oh, well, past my prime by any measure. I started late, too. Not like the kids out there now. Some of them are too young. It's a cutthroat business. I've seen some of them burn out after a year. They get dangerous and don't live long. That's not everyone, of course, but it happens. I'm a has-been, I'll admit. But dying while you're on top is still dying. I'll pass. Best place you get now. I don't really talk to any of them. I know Zara's from the circuit, and we couldn't ask for a tougher lady. She's smart too. I don't know the younger guys, but I've been watching Nico. Good to see someone doing it for the love of the race.
I don't know, but some people just have something that lets the bike take them. It's like the air stops pushing back. I think you know what I mean. When the wind decides to stop fighting, you felt it. I can tell by your times. All right, then. Mash me again in a few years, and it'll be me. I'm probably not going back out on the circuit. There is one. But for now, I don't know any more than the next guy. Well, you should try the locals. Jawas, maybe. Funny little guy. I'm not used to such attention. What do you want me to repeat? All right, then. Keep safe. Yep. Seems like tough times are coming.
Ben? I'm sorry, do I know you?
I'm here, Mother. But don't you recognize me?
What do you expect when I haven't so much as had a picture of you since you left? Do you know how long I've been trying to find you?
You knew as well as I communication would be impossible once I joined the Order. Now what is this about? Where is Father?
Then you haven't heard. I should have known.
Has something happened to him? Are you going to tell me or not?
Your father is dead, Basti. That is part of the reason why I was looking for him.
Dead? What happened? What did you do to him?
Isn't this a lovely reunion? Already she's flinging insults at me. Tell me, you're one of her friends. Do you treat your mother this way? Is that so? Well, I'll be joining her soon enough, I suppose.
I was told you were sick. Are you actually dying, or is this merely melodrama for my benefit?
Such sweet things, you say. Perhaps I should tell you everything first before we start arguing again.
You could start by telling me what you got Father into that killed him.
I hadn't realized Jedi was so spiteful. You want me to tell you I brought your father here for an expedition, do you? You want to blame me for his death? You never accepted that your father loved going on his treasure hunts, leaving you alone with me. I was always to blame for everything. What else is new? So yes, fine. I brought your father here to look for great dragon pearls. He took an expedition into the Tatooine desert, and he died.
How can you be sure of that? Father is an experienced...
Do you think I would look for you if I wasn't sure? They were attacked by a great dragon, and one of the guides fled the battle. He saw your father killed.
I see. So what do you want from me? Credits?
Don't be insulting. I want you to use those senses of yours. I want you to find him. I want you to bring back his holocron.
Why? So you can sell it?
Is it too much to ask that I have something to remember your father by? Of course it is, isn't it? You couldn't be bothered.
We're very busy on a mission from the Jedi Council. I doubt I'll have the time. Ask my companions if you doubt me. What remains would there be? Great dragons are huge predators, easily able to devour a human, and the desert is a harsh environment. Finding my father's remains would be an even more impossible task than finding his holocron, an ignoble end to a fine man. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with what she's asking. Are you actually sick, Mother?
What difference does it make to you? None, I'm sure. Just find your father's holocron, and you won't have to worry about me again either way.
That's the kind of response I would expect. Very well. We'll look for the holocron if we have time. I can't promise any more than that.
I believe your father was headed north towards the Sand People Enclave. I would check along that route, dear. Do please hurry. Back already? Have you even looked for the holocron yet?
I don't have the holocron, if that's what you're asking.
Then what are you waiting for? Go find it!
Well, a fresh face for the game. I wonder, would you care to play? My name is Furco Nellis. My vice is Bazak. Very good. Would you care to wager on a game? Well, since you have never beaten me, we'll make this for a paltry 50 credits. No bargaining now. This is serious. To be fair, I'll use my practice deck as well. I don't want to scare you off, you understand? Haha, very good. Now, don't worry if I beat you too harshly. It is a learning experience. Would you like to have another round of Pazak? I mean, I don't want to say that it was beginner's luck, but you should play again to truly get a feel for the game. Ah, I'm sure you do, but I won't have answers. I leave other people to their business, and they leave me to mine. Really, you'll have to seek information elsewhere, but if you want some recreation, I've cards ready to play. Must I? An opinion would draw attention to myself. The Sith have shown what happens to things that draw their attention. Very good. Would you care to wager on a game? You have some rudimentary skills. I think I'll use my second best deck this time and up the stakes. 200 credits will be the wager. I trust you will have the money on hand. All right. But remember that there isn't much fun on Tatooine that isn't life-threatening. Come back if you like a game.
Papuelta, Colo Plus, Ivan Rebu, Miguel y Remo.
Huh? Who are you then? Only new people that come to Junix Nard's Cantina are long-time losers and bounty hunters. I don't have to tell you why the two don't mix well. Please keep any blaster fire to a minimum. What, did some Zerka promoter tell you to come to this planet? I pity you if you were expecting a prosperous mining outpost. Nothing here but sand and more sand. There's a little hunting and racing, but nothing that'll make a small man rich. You got a license there, don't you? Faz's Lodge will be open to you now. Nothing more I can tell you about hunting than his lot won't. And since you got that license from Zerka, you know they look for bounties of their own. They're the ones with credits to pay and interest to protect. All right, then. Just keep it brief, will you? I got customers. I've already gone over this stuff with you. Couldn't you just go ask someone else? I'm not one of those listening bartenders. I don't deal with any of that. Mata the Hutt has a lock on everything race-related on Tatooine. You deal with him, or you don't race. All right, then. Just keep... I suppose you're fishing for a reaction to the destruction of Taris. That's all anyone from off-world is talking about. Well, I'll tell you, it's about time someone kicked the Republic in the tail and got things moving. I guess the Sith are the ones that do it. Don't get me wrong, all those deaths were horrible. The war gets the money moving. Maybe they'll decide to fortify us out here. No. Just no. I don't look for trouble. You'll have to talk to people yourself if you want more than that. If you don't mind. All right, then. Zerka Corporation only worries about keeping their own stores full. I don't have much on hand.
There's not enough jobs here for permanent citizens, let alone use spacer drop-ins.
A private trader told me about the bloodshed on Kashyyyk. Seems like Zerka wants to forget it was ever there.
The Zerka Corporation will unload this outpost on someone. Maybe not for a few years, but now they can wait.
With Taris gone, I wonder who the Sith will turn on next.
We tam Boragantong.
And if the unit proves even more uncooperative once we purchase it...
Yeah. Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo. Der Bundas, Uftakel Chief, Undakabuelta, Koloduf. Abuelta, Koloduf, Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irim. Abuelta, Koloduf, Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo. Der Bundas, Uftakel Chief, Undakabuelta. Abuelta, Koloduf, Ivan Rebut, Der Bundas, Uftakel Chief, Undakabuelta.
The Force is not a thing to be trifled with. Continue to use it frivolously and you may find yourself straying down the dark path.
Abuelta, Koloduf, Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo. Abuelta, Koloduf, Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo. Tufbedan Gelva, Noisidan Gelva. Duden Tufblad van Gelva. Abuelta, Koloduf, Ivan Rebut, Ikel Irimo. Undakabuelta, Uftakel. Der Bundas, Uftakel Chief, Undakabuelta. Abuelta, Koloduf, Ivan Rebut. Der Bundas, Uftakel Chief, Undakabuelta. Koloduf, Abuelta, Koloduf, Abuelta, Undakabuelta, Uftakel Chief. Abuelta.
Statement. I see you have purchased me, Master. I find this a satisfactory arrangement. My restraining bolt will be deactivated when you take possession of me. Am I to accompany you now? Shall I kill something for you? Answer. Indeed. I am most eager to engage in some unadulterated violence. At your command, of course, Master. Statement. I will enter into your service now, Master. I am certain you will make adequate use of my primary functions. My gears are practically quivering with anticipation. Ready!
Yes?
Objection. Worn out? Listen, you talentless organic meatbag. One word from my master and I will pull you apart, limb from useless limb. I have always been hostile. Now that I need no longer rely on you and your primitive maintenance skills, I do not need to hide it.
Paprilta. Kolotuf Nivanwepu Niel Irimo. Paprilta.
Observation. I am not a problem, you useless organic meatbag. You and your lack of any organized mechanical skills are a problem. Query. Can I kill him now, Master? I would like ever so much to crush his neck. Just a little. It is a long-time fantasy of mine. I apologize, Master. Are you sure? Not even just a little? Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master. Statement. I know some elements of my functionality, Master, but not all. Qualification. I suspected that it might, Master, but without memory, I had no way of knowing whether or not I knew that was true. Qualification. Not so much, Master. I spoke out of ignorance. I assumed the Ithorian was responsible for my memory loss. That does not mean I am not a fully loyal droid willing to serve its master. Right, Master? Observation. I am sure you are aware of the majority of my skills, Master. I can handle various sorts of heavy weaponry with ease. My physical abilities are well above those of your average meatbag, as are my sensor functions. An assassin, if you would. Caution, shh, Master. Such a function in a droid is highly illegal. Commentary. Good, for I would truly hate to be turned into spare scrap, Master. That would be a waste of my genius engineering. Answer. My assassination functions are currently non-functional, having been deactivated by the meatbag Yukalaka on Tatooine. Were they functional, you as my master would be able to specify a target, and I would operate independently to the best of my ability to terminate it. Answer. Not that I know of, Master. I still possess all my normal combat and stealth abilities, however. Answer. Some of my motor functions can be safely repaired, Master, but anything in relation to my memory core is extremely sensitive. I have safeguards installed to protect that core that I cannot deactivate. It is not impossible that other, lesser memory functions could be restored, however. Answer. You may attempt to restore portions of my deleted memory, Master, but some skill at repair is required. The deeper functions of my core memory, however, would still be unadvisable to tamper with. Conjecture. It is possible that some external stimulus might result in the memory core being reactivated, but I am unaware of any program existence to do so. Answer. Simply tell me that you wish to make the attempt, Master, and I will attempt to walk you through it. Please do be careful. Conjecture. There may be hidden programming that awaits certain conditions to reactivate my memory core, Master, but there is no way to know. It is quite possible that tampering has simply erased my core permanently. If that is so, a meatbag will surely pay. Answer. Simply... Observation. My... As you desire. Statement. Affirmative. If you believe your skills are up to the task, Master, then I can certainly guide you through the process. Request. I only ask that you be oh so very careful, Master. I am too valuable and well-crafted to perish at the hands of ineptitude. Statement. As you wish, Master. The first stage is the simple one, and that is accessing my central control cluster. This may take a while. First, you will need to open 3 panels. Now close the last panel. I am afraid the operation did not succeed, Master, though it was a valiant attempt for a meatbag. Supplication. Perhaps it would be best if you desisted your efforts for the moment, Master. This seems to be going nowhere. Statement. As you wish, Master. What are you doing? Remove the arc wrench! Remove the arc wrench! Medic! Supplication. Perhaps it would be... Statement. As you wish. Now close the last panel. Supplication. Statement. No! That is not it, Master. No, that is not it either. That is a hinge, Master. Supplication. Perhaps. Statement. No! That is not as you desire, Master.
What?
Statement. Affirm request. State. No! Acknowledgement.
Sure.
Yeah, what do you want? So deal with it. Why are you asking me about it?
Statement. It is doubtful he can be clearer. Their language is difficult even for droids. He is using a trade language to try and help. Translation. 98% probability that members of the miniature organics tribe are being held by Sand People, Master. Doubtless, he wishes assistance. Translation. 2% probability that the miniature organic is simply looking for trouble and needs to be blasted. That may be wishful thinking on my part, Master.
So these Jawas are scavengers who were enslaved by the Sand People. I think I am beginning to understand his plight. So these Jawas are... It could be that this Jawa knows things about this planet's history that the Republic has no inkling of. It does seem convenient, but we've no reason to disbelieve this creature.
Warning. More likely, the deceiving little organic hopes to trick you into going there so you release his people while searching, Master.
No one leaves Anchorhead without proper authorization. Well, let's see it. Come on. All right. I'll just scan that and you're off. I'll keep it on file, too. Good luck out there. You'll need it, need it, need it, need it.